have anybody left.
Seen Stranger Things.
And I think people are frustrated that
Sure, three.
it's frustrating. I have them all in their shops. They don't always see them. They get people driving in areas that shouldn't. They irritate me. Everybody should take that.
Okay, get your attention please, we'll get things started here. First, if you have your cell phones, please silence those so that there won't be an interruption during the meeting. First of all, we need to, well, first I want to thank Evelos for letting us use the lodge this evening for having this meeting. Appreciate that. So first thing we need to do is have a determination of quorum, so Teresa?
Cam Paddock.
Here.
Herschel Hinkle.
Here.
Ron Nunley. Here. Tim Monroe.
Here.
Jeff Keith.
Here.
Okay, subject for the tonight's meeting is the review of a special use application to approve a salvage yard, special use in the general industrial zoning district. The ordinance, I don't think I have the ordinance number here. It's not on the agenda. Let me find it real quick. No, I didn't have it on the phone. There it is. It is the BZA 2023-01, and this is a continuation of the meeting from October 9th, which was a continuation of a meeting from September 18th. So at this time, I would ask the board members first if you had a chance to review the documents that were sent out on the 25th. Might have a chance to review those. Next, then, since we've all had a chance to review everything that's been submitted, are there any, and this would be for Oksana, any corrections or additions to anything that you have submitted to this point?
No corrections, anything, no new evidence submitted between the 25th and today.
All right, thank you. And anything new from LKQ as far as new documents, documentation, or corrections?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Joe Calderon on behalf of LKQ. I did bring handout just to supplement something that we had put into the record and passed to Oksana. It's just a series of photographs pertaining to the existing LKQ location in Avon. So that would be the only other thing besides what we had submitted before the 25th. We're happy to share that at now or at any time that the board shall please.
Yeah, if you've got those, just want to share them real quick. What these photos represent, members of the board, because we appreciated exactly what you had expressed concerns about in the original packet from last month concerning the impact of this facility on future development and residential development in the town, in the vicinity of the place. So LKQ, as we testified to, has a facility in Avon right on US 36.
The photos that you have are in sequential order, starting from March of '99 and ending in 2022. These are either taken from Google Earth or Beacon. And what we wanted to show you is that there actually has been development, including residential development, that came in after LKQ had been operating. So we think the best example of proving the point that if a facility is zoned properly and operates properly, that it does not act as a deterrent in terms of development. So just so you know, I took a look earlier today at some of the statistics, including the neighborhood immediately adjacent to the LKQ facility. It's called Park Place at Park Place. And none of those homes that I pulled on Beacon reports had any diminution in assessed value over the last number of years. There have been trades, transfers, and more importantly, there's a subdivision that came in the early 2010s, many years after LKQ had been operating and was built from scratch. And that's kind of the situation that you're really considering here. We're out kind of in a somewhat undeveloped area, and your concerns are legitimate to make sure that the town can grow appropriately if you so choose, and we think that this was the best evidence. We had had our realtor send a letter to that regard, and this is just a supplement to their findings. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
I have a question. How big is that business land at that location? How many acres? How big is it?
That's an older facility, and that has hang on just a minute. You know how many acres Avon
What's the
is?
question? I'm sorry.
How many acres Avon is?
Yeah,
9.5.
I just didn't see the last sheet,
Yeah,
sorry.
sorry about that. 9.5.
I was gonna say 15.
9.5 acres?
Yes.
9.5 acres.
It was a purchased facility, it was not a developed facility, much more outdoor in nature.
Right, okay.
That's the one you're gonna close, potentially?
Correct.
Okay. Any other questions from the board for LKQ? Okay, there's no other questions for the board. Any other discussion points that, from anyone? Not? All right, at this point, I would ask for a motion to either approve or deny this petition.
I'd like to make a motion. Since there's a lot of information, if you could take one and pass it down. Obviously, there was a lot of information in the finding of facts, so I prepared copies for everyone. All right, on the finding of facts, comes down to the Lapel Board of Zoning Appeals, BZA, and after conducting a public hearing on September 18th, which the hearing was continued on to October 9th, and again continued on to October 30th, at which hearing the BZA received public comment and other evidence, thereby making the following finding of facts. So we have our 4 criteria. Upon criteria 1, the approval will be injurious to public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community, as the application unjustifiably endangers public health based on the October 9th testimony of Tim Northam. He was a hydrogeologist, which stated in part, due to the shallow gravels and strong aquifer, there will be a moderate risk for water contamination. Also on October 9th, testimony by Purdue University Professor Sherry Steiner, which detailed unacceptable risks associated with the petition based on the professor's experience researching health impacts in the steel recycling industry. Number 3, the unacceptable risks to the water supply of surrounding residents, such as Billy Joe Mann, who lives within 1 mile of the property site, along with more than a dozen other homes, or wells serving homes within a 1 mile proposed site. Bullet point 2, the requirement for the development standards for the requested use of the prescribed by ordinance will be met. The applicant does meet the requirements, but only if the full compliance with the town fencing standards are met. The fencing shall be opaque wood, stone, or masonry fence. Otherwise, the application has submitted a site plan which meets the specific requirements of V10.2.14.n of the Town of Lapel Unified Development Code and pertaining to the storage requirements for inoperable vehicles in a junkyard or in a permitted junkyard, including locations of screening such as vehicles. Number 3, granting the special use will subvert the general purpose served by the ordinance and will permanently injure other properties or use in the same district or vicinity. The applicant does not meet the requirements based on A, affidavits from realtors with local expertise, Chris DeVore, Barry Tedder, Stephanie Evelo, Michelle Frazier, Derek Evelo, and Kelly Wood all stated that it will substantially impact property values in a negative way, thus resulting in a permanent injury of those properties in vicinity of the proposed project. B, on October 9th, 2023, testimony of the hydrogeologist Tim Northam as described above in findings 1, that a moderate water contamination risk exists in the vicinity of the proposed site. On bullet 4, the proposed use will not be considered with the characters of the zoning district in which it is located in the Town of Lapel Comprehensive Plan. Survey question number 9 and 10 located on page 26 through 27 of the Comprehensive Plan survey, which formed a basis for the drafting and adoption of the Comprehensive Plan, did not consider general industrial use for the subject parcel, only retail, light industrial, hospitality, services, office, residential, and recreational use. General industrial use, while not part of the survey guiding the draft of the comprehensive plan, would, if implemented, reduce property value as described in finding 3 and risk contamination of the surrounding water supply, precluding this type of land use contemplated in the comprehensive plan. Subsection B, page 47 of the public input portion of the comprehensive plan contains a recommendation adopted by the town council to establish a policy to preserve floodplain areas as an open space and where possible maintain these areas as parklands. A small portion of this proposed site is located within that floodplain.
Okay, the motion has been made and read by Jeff Keith. Do we have a second on that motion?
I second.
Seconded by Cam Paddock. Teresa, can we have a roll call vote, please?
Cam Paddock,
Yes.
Herschel Hinkle,
Yes.
Ron Nunley,
Yes.
Tim Monroe,
Yes.
Jeff Keith.
Yes.
Okay. With that vote, it's been a unanimous decision to deny the, special zoning appeal. And I believe that concludes our business for this ordinance.
Entertain a motion to adjourn.
Take a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Can make a motion, second by Ron. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
I mean, at least they can apply and like change.
I'm with the
their-
Anderson.
But for now.
Just sign.
I know.